how do you run a business? A lot of people fail to do this. A lot of young entrepreneurs fail at doing this. It's just to understand structure. Today, all we call them startups.
Yep.
Oh, I want to do a startup, go pitch for funders, right? You pitch, you get ringgit 1 million funding. First thing you do, wow, beautiful office, nice setup, nice meeting rooms. I tell you, that is not the way to do business. I tell you today, and I tell any young entrepreneur today, it's not the way to do business. When I started my business, I rented a small room in the middle of nowhere, and we operated out of the car. Like, we were running around doing everything. All my meetings were in the car. We're all, all con calls were all in the car. Everything was in the car. You run on the business. At the end of the day, what is your margin? How much can you make? The more you make, the more you grow.
Hello everybody.
Hai, Assalamualaikum semua.
Assalamualaikum.
Wah, Sophia and Tanya is here.
Front row.
Yeah. Alright, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ashraf Khalid and this is my partner
Ishraq Kamaruddin.
Selamat datang ke Apa Cerita Podcast di mana kita dengar kisah individu yang berjaya dan menarik untuk dijadikan sebagai inspirasi dan teladan. Of course, today we are super excited to shoot our first ever podcast session live di KL PodFest 2025. Yeah.
Yes, thank you everybody for coming here. And since we are not in our usual setting, kita pun nak cater towards everyone yang ada kat sini. And not just our followers, we decided to treat this particular episode sedikit berbeza. And we have two very, very special guests telling their stories based on their experiences in media. Because PodFest, podcast, it's a new form of content, new form of media. So we thought it was natural lah. And most importantly to highlight our segment today is about learnings from the evolution of media. Dari dulu ke sekarang.
But at the same time, we also want to hear their full story. So we'll invite them insyaAllah in our podcast juga nanti.
Correct. A long form 2 hours. Sini kita ada 45 minit ke 1 jam sahaja. So we'll try to make it as fruitful as we can.
Yes. Alright. Alright, so we would like to... Oh, before we introduce them, like usual, Wak kan selalu dia akan buat dia punya intro kan. Siapa kat sini rasa Wak punya intro selalu over gila? Tak ada.
Ada. Semua rasa it's appropriate.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, so without further ado, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Sorry, because we are recording, also mana yang belum subscribe, do subscribe, it's free. And let's go on with this session. Okay, so Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. From the golden age of Malaysia's traditional media to the fast-moving world of digital creators, our next guests have lived it all. Okay, so we have 2 guests today, very special. Siapa kat sini yang tak pernah lagi? Siapa sini tak tahu Too Fat, Rashmundo, Ning Baizura? Who here don't know these people? I'm sure everybody knows, right? And lagi, more importantly, who here don't know the new movie called Blood Brothers? I'm sure everybody knows, right? Woo! Aku lagi clap. Alright, so our guest today is part of this. So from Positive Tone with the label with all the names that I mentioned, also CEO of Media Prima Television Networks. It's truly an honor to have him today. And also, he also continues shaping stories from leading at Disney Plus Southeast Asia to driving new ideas in film and digital, like I said, Blood Brothers. And another guest honor of us began Bold Youth campaign through DG, like the Yellow Army, before founding Zeno Entertainment, also with big, brighter stars in Malaysia, such as Aida Jepat, Aina Azman, Fatin Afifah, Intan Najwa, Elizabeth Tan, Iman Opi, Kasih Aris Leona, and many
Leona,
more.
ex-girlfriend you?
And so we are also truly honored to have him. He also, I go by boss. I call him boss as well.
Because he used to date. No, can.
So both of them represent 2 different eras, tapi both are involved in content, media, and also music, but share one thing in common. They both shape the way Malaysians consume stories today. please welcome to the stage Datuk Ahmad Izham Omar and Prashan Chiti, aka MelakaBoy.
Because usually in our studio kita guest dah duduk kan, so bangun that's what terlanggar. Alright, so thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys taking your Sunday off to be here and share your story with us. So thank you so much. So okay, how are you guys doing?
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
Okay,
good.
Yeah, I remember.
Just to correct you, this in our line of work, Sunday no off one.
Oh, Sunday is a normal working day.
I'm more upset that you make us sound like we are very old.
I mean,
Not old but wise.
Come backstage and I'll hit you with my walking stick.
so you got your walking stick with you?
Yeah, I'm gonna hit you with it.
Just Ashraf, right? Just to be clear.
No, I mean, of course, I think I started seeing Datuk in TV masa I muda-muda dulu, when I was like maybe 3 years old, 4 years old.
He's doing it again.
The hole you're digging is deeper, my friend.
No. When I was like 20, in my early 20s, I think. I saw you as the CEO of Media Prima, and I see you do so many things. You were also Disney Plus punya, part of Disney Plus, and doing so many movies apa semua kan. So you are one of a big inspiration for all of us.
Oh,
and,
thank you.
And also of course Prashan pula, MelakaBoy, if you guys tak tahu, sebenarnya MelakaBoy was one of my first mentor. My first mentor in the talent management
10
when I was
10 years ago.
Yeah, I think I was 21, 22. So
How was he like, MelakaBoy, when?
Wah, he's ni belakang cerita like back story. One day he came up to me. I think can I tell my team to come to office at 6 in the morning and then we finish work at 3 in the afternoon? I'm like, wow, you're gonna make your staff come to work at 6 in the morning? Wow. So okay lah, you try lah, right?
But okay,
yeah.
and
Interesting lah. I mean, an entrepreneur's mindset is always, I think, very interesting. They think of different ways of, say, 6 o'clock in the morning we are fresh and we can think of ideas. Okay.
Then 3 o'clock already tired.
People in music different.
We've never seen 6 o'clock.
Yeah, we've never seen 6 o'clock.
What is that?
It's crazy because we go to sleep at maybe 4, 5.
So I just wanted the office early so that I get your space, because I know you come late, right?
So you can utilize the whole office.
I can be the boss on the first part of the day, right?
Alright, everybody, before we start up with our normal, throwback, I want to highlight to everybody, you guys want to stick around because we have Prashan, MelakaBoy, and also Datuk Izham is really, really experienced in the media industry. And also, they have very good insight that we can really, really get inspired from. Datuk Izham was CEOs in many, many, many companies. And Prashan went through the other route, which is as an entrepreneur, so we can get a bit of an insight of how we can actually be the best version of ourselves. So you guys want to stick around? So Prashan, I know that you are the chief of planet Xenion.
Yeah,
right?
Xenion.
Also very, very interesting characters. And Datuk Izham, you're also chief explorer at Format.
Yes.
Right? The current. So both are very good dreamers. So we can really learn from. Okay?
I mean, usually people use a chief operating officer. Usually people who wants to try to look young, they will use different kind of. Usually, I don't know.
That's the final nail.
But to be fair, you really look really young. You look like.
Kita aloe vera ada.
Sekejap kita cari pasal balik susah. Okay,
Alright.
I want to start with you, Datuk.
Okay.
Looking back at your journey, right? What was your turning point that sets you on the path of media?
Oh, I didn't know I was going to be in media. I really tak tahu. Masa tu I was doing Positive Tone and we were riding high on Innuendo and then Too Fat. And suddenly I had a call from some guy called Abdul Rahman Ahmad. Now he's Datuk Abdul Rahman Ahmad. Wow. At the time, and then I checked him out. He was Malaysian Resources Corporation Berhad Group Managing Director, CEO. So he was MRCB, GMD, CEO. So I was saying, oh my God, the guy has got over 40% of the alphabet. So it was quite weird. But I think when he called me, he said that we're starting a new TV station. and we'd like you to do something like a positive tone, but on TV. So he saw the future. I didn't. I thought I was just going to go music all the way. So he saw that something that we did in the music industry could be applied to the TV industry. And I said, is that all my brief, my job description? He said, yeah. And now, okay, then that's fine. Then so I jumped into it, just applied the same principles I had in music, but for TV lah. Then I started 8TV.
So essentially you were creating content.
Content and management of content and the management of the creative processes that go around making content. So not just the actual content making, but how do you support people around you that's making interesting or innovative content? What space do you give them? What allowances do you give for them to fail? What do you tell your CFO to allow for people to fail so that you have a budgeting system that works to encourage innovation? So that was important.
Yeah, interesting. What about you, Prashan? You also, are very heavily involved in music. What was your turning point, and why did you decided, okay, music was my path?
I think before music, it was media first. A lot of people know me for what I do in music, but
terbalik, eh?
Yeah, but actually,
Because terbalik.
I own an advertising company as well, so that's where we started, right? And I think my turning point was at that time I was in corporate. I was in DG telecommunications. Then we started doing a lot of online marketing. This is you're talking about 15 years ago when you said Lisa Suriani had 1 million followers on Facebook. People were like, wow, these days that 1 million means nothing, right?
Yeah.
But those days 1 million, and then one of my bosses like, hey, can you study this? This market has this artist has like 1 million followers. And growing up, like I said, I grew up with positive tones, right? So I'm like OAG, and too fat, And I never knew, I never understood the Malay market. This is honest, I never understood the Malay market. So my first friends in the Malay market were actually Lisa Suriani, Shaizi Sam. Oh. They were my first friends in this market.
Wow, and you had some fancy friends, bro.
Yeah, they taught me this market, right? They taught me this market because I didn't know their market. They did not know advertising. So I went on to study this market where there's 1 million followers, and at that time Twitter started. Now called X, Twitter, it started. And when I started working on Twitter in corporate, nobody understood how to track the algorithm, how to track the numbers, how to track the success of a campaign on Twitter. At that time, even Twitter wasn't doing it. Twitter was like, just get on our platform and use it. All right. So I did a few campaigns back then, and I went online and researched, and I found some tools from America that we could use to track the effectiveness of a campaign. And that's where I started like, oh shit, I could turn this into a business. I could actually start asking brands to do Twitter-based campaigns, and I could track and I could give them the numbers. And that's where my journey started. But music has always been in me, right? I love music, and music always been in me. So when I started to have a bit of money after doing media for like 3 or 4 years, I went into music. Right, so I started off doing music with Elizabeth Tan, but at that time
She was your first?
I didn't have a record label when I signed her, so I partnered up with Faithful Music, so I did music with them. All right, then after 3 years, I realized, oh shit, I should have done it by myself, So then at that point, I signed Aida Jebat, and she wanted to do music. I said, oh, I'm not going to partner, and I'm just going to try and do it myself. And I think I was very lucky because from the get-go, the first song was a hit. So that kind of fueled my journey into music. But at the end of the day, I will tell people this: I started off doing media, not music. But music's what drives me today.
Yeah, and I think music is in your blood because I remember when we shared the same office, you had guitars everywhere, and then you were playing after hours. He's just a music guy. Yeah.
Would you be able to share, Prashan, what was one challenge that you faced that shaped who you are today? Just to give a bit of a, insight.
I think,
and also Datuk after Prashan.
Yeah, I think to be honest, I was never an entrepreneur. I was never. I'm not.
You were an art guy, right?
Yeah, I'm not a CEO material.
Yeah.
The things that you learn from Izham today are all the mistakes that I did to learn. Right, this is true. I'm gonna really admit it. Right, I'm very music people. We're very stubborn as hell. And doing business, the one thing you can't do is be too stubborn. Right, you gotta listen, you gotta learn, you gotta listen to the numbers, you gotta listen to the structure. That's one thing that shaped me today. Is I kind of like have to go through all that by myself to learn. And until today, I'm still learning the process. I'm learning how to budget. I'm learning how to, because creative people, don't talk about your budgets. The most important is to come up with something that's good, effective, and is going to sell.
Yeah.
You know, but budgeting is so important. Knowing how to operate, how to run a business, it is so important. You know, so those are the things that I learned in my 13 years as an entrepreneur. I'm never an entrepreneur. I tell until today, I have I call them generals, right, running my company for me right now, right. They make the decisions. They show me the calculated numbers. I'm like, okay, go ahead. You know, but I was never that. I was never a structured person. I did what I want to do out of passion. But that fueled the company. But in time, you learn that with better management, with more effective management of the company,
You make less mistake and
you
less.
make less mistakes
And more money.
You make more money and lose less.
Yeah.
I mean, in general, this is a process of learning. As an entrepreneur, you don't stop learning. Every day, you are learning something new.
Yeah, but I think in every business journey, right, you sort of have to go through that experiences, because if not, people will tell you, right, you have mentors lah, advisors lah that will tell you, but
Yeah,
most
you
of the
never
time you won't listen until you make that one mistake, and then then you start listening better, kan? So I think it's a journey that you have to go through. And what about yourself, Datuk? What would you say is your biggest challenge in this?
That's very much similar to what MelakaBoy here is saying. I like your name lah, MelakaBoy. I'm Ampang boy.
Forever young.
Ampang boy got power. Okay? Just kidding.
This is our territory.
Actually, I'm PJ boy. Actually, yeah. Anyway, the thing is, there was a naivety just like him when I first started out. I did have, I did study both the right brain and the left brain. I did study music and I did an MBA. So I kind of mashed it together to start a record label, right? But it was the fact that I didn't know that what I was trying to do, because it was like him, passion. I wanted to do music yang lain daripada lain tau. Macam OAG or Too Fat or Innuendo or Poetic Emanation masa tu. I wanted to do something that was like, okay, you've never seen this before, dude. Like, I love this music. I grew up liking this kind of music. So I'm going to do this. I did not know that it was not supposed to be done. I knew it when I started shipping all my music out to all the big record labels, and all of them doesn't want to help. Nobody wanted to distribute. So I had to go on my own. Then I realized it was tough. But I kept to what your heart feels right. If your heart feels this is right. And then when you go out and see the gigs at that time, they were just jumping up and down to OAG. So how come the radio is not playing, the TV is not playing, but how come everybody is in this hot and sweaty club and just dancing up and down to OAG? Then I realized the industry is always 6 months behind. Then, okay, as a 24-year-old boy, I did not know then that I should have followed what the elders in the record industry were saying. But I didn't. I went on my own. So, susah lah. But with the support of family, with the support of a good team is always good to have. Then you break through, and I just like him, I started out with a big hit, which was 60TV or OAG, that kept me just going and going.
Sorry, what when OAG?
60TV.
60.
Yeah, even he knows it. Yeah, so OAG was, and then from that, I then realized that, wow, this is great. Then when I went to TV, and I thought I knew the world, right? When I went to TV and I saw the data, I realized how small that world was, that urban English-speaking world. It was small, but we still managed to make a breakthrough. Yeah. Then I realized, wait, if I do something bigger here, I can even make an even bigger breakthrough. So the naivety made me do crazy stuff. But now, armed with knowledge and data, I can do even crazier stuff that can move the needle even more than I did last time. Last time, people will say, you did move the needle. I did. Alhamdulillah, I managed to do it, right? But now I can move the needle on a regional scale. So that's why I thought a sense of naivety, a sense of cluelessness is actually good. Then it doesn't make you feel scared of what's coming ahead. But you always need to have some sort of structured thinking and background behind you, so that you don't just jump in blind lah.
Yeah, but I think also
that's a very good input, right?
Yeah, I think also on the hindsight, mungkin ada juga setengah orang yang too structured, that they don't have that naivety, always worry pula.
Yep.
Okay. Macam ni tau. Okay, I the philosophy of world. Philosophy of world.
One of our audience remind me of
Okay.
that.
I believe we live in this balang. You know balang kan? Like, okay, everybody lives in the balang, right? And the opportunities are flying around us, like flapping like flying fishing trouts, something flying around us. We can never see it, right? If you open our eyes, we can see it. But the good ones down here, semua orang dah makan. The good ones, the really good ones are up there lah. Yang the fish bawah dah makan. So how do you get up there? Okay, education is one way, and experience another way. So if you go up, the higher you go, the more opportunities, the better ones are up there. But you need to open your eyes. I have seen people with a lot of education, a lot of experience, mata tutup. So the fish is slapping them in the head. So the opportunity is coming down. They cannot see it. They say, oh yeah, my life is so bad. Now I'm here in my corner office. I don't know what to do. My boss hates me. Because you don't open your eyes. God damn it. Right? But there are people who open their eyes, but they have no education and experience sikit. Then they can see lah, oh cantiknya ikan kat atas tu, but I cannot get it because I don't have the background. So you need both. You need education, you need experience, and then you need to keep your eyes open that you can
grab the opportunity.
Yeah, because I always believe my philosophy is another philosophy. Tua aku ni. It's like,
we like it.
What you gotta do is just get up, move, turn right. That's it. Don't think about anything else. Oh, you gotta do this, like 5 steps. Forget it. Just one step, turn right, because you never know who you're gonna meet when you turn right. Like the great philosopher Josh Michael said. Josh Michael.
Isn't he
turn a different corner and we've never would have met. Right? So turn a different corner. You know, if I didn't come here today, I would have met him. We wanted to meet for so long already.
Yeah, fun fact. They always say to each other people, say that
we're gonna meet someday. We're gonna meet someday.
But
That someday never
never
came until today.
So
it's fate.
advice is bangun, jalan, pusing. That's it.
Can no need to overthink.
Don't think it. Yeah.
Correct. I mean, you remember last time when we were 21, Datuk, we hosted a whole event in Istana Budaya.
Yeah.
We did a lot of crazy stuff. We didn't think, but now if we think back, we're like, wish, gila siya. If we think we were to do now, we probably wouldn't do it.
We're so naive back then.
Super naive.
But we managed to pull it through juga kan. And I think those experience are the early experience that will shape you as well.
Yeah.
Okay, Datuk, what advice would you give to your younger self?
What would you say? They can start tomorrow.
And also that can change their trajectory of their life lah.
Okay, jangan takut lah. Okay, jangan takut. It's already there. Okay, so I think it's more like make sure you always surround yourself with the best team possible. Always hire someone smarter. I know you've always heard this. Hire someone smarter than you and don't be afraid of it. You as a leader or as a champion or as an entrepreneur need to make yourself as a leader as redundant as possible. So once you make yourself redundant, that means you have finally empowered everybody nicely. Then you can go up to a different level. Right? Which is why when people talk about AI, are you scared of AI? I'm not, because AI then empowers us humans to become to a new level. Yeah. If we don't let it control us, we are supposed to control it, right? So I think we always need to make sure that we always empower, delegate, and then we become better versions of ourselves and find the next new thing. Yeah. That's what I would tell a young kid right now.
Yeah, it's almost like game, right? We'll go one level to another level, another level.
But with AI, you can naik that balang faster.
Way faster.
How about for you, MelakaBoy?
I think for me, if I were to tell my younger self something, it would be
The 20-year-old.
Yeah, I would say make less mistakes, maybe. I mean,
Meet Datuk Izham faster.
yeah, I mean, the truth is listening to people and understanding. I think the biggest challenge for me in doing the business that I do today, it was I understand it today, but was understanding structure, company structure, right? Like, how do you run a business? A lot of people fail to do this. A lot of young entrepreneurs fail at doing this. It's just to understand structure. You know, today, all we call them startups.
Yep.
Oh, I want to do a startup, go pitch for funders, right? You pitch, you get R1 million funding. First thing you do, beautiful office, nice setup, nice meeting rooms. I tell you, that is not the way to do business. Yeah. I tell you today, and I tell any young entrepreneur today, it's not the way to do business. When I started my business, I rented a small room in the middle of nowhere. and we operated out of the car. Like we were running around doing everything. All my meetings were in the car. We're all, all con calls were all in the car. Everything was in the car. You run on the business. At the end of the day, what is your margin? How much can you make? The more you make, the more you grow. The more you spend from the start, from the get-go. Wow, I want beautiful office, beautiful this, beautiful driver, beautiful, a nice car and all that. It's going to put your company at a deficit, right?
Yeah.
And to cover that hole, by the time you cover that hole, you think about next step, you'll be like tired. Like, So I think that's at a younger self, I would tell myself, try and understand structure a bit better. It took me maybe 4 years, 5 years to first understand that we really need to run your company efficiently. And this one normally, like I said, people like Izham, they come with that CEO mindset. They know. Like for us entrepreneurs who are just running around, just making sure the company stuck
Survive.
and make money, you don't think about that. All right, you're hiring people. All this process is all your bottom line, your numbers, and a lot of entrepreneurs fail to understand this. That's why when I meet young entrepreneurs today and they tell me I want to do this, the first question I ask, how are you going to make money? And how is your starting structure? As soon as they tell me, our first thing we're going to invest 100,000 to make our office have 7 staff, do this, I will not invest in that business.
Bye-bye.
I will not invest in that business. Because for me, that business is built to fail. If you come to me and saying it's a 2-man operation, for the first year we're going to make 50,000, it's fine. Just make small money, it's fine. But in 5 years, you will grow to a different level.
Yeah.
You see the numbers before you reinvest in yourself.
Basically, keep it lean, right?
Keep it
Really,
lean.
yeah. And when I first started, I actually tumpang your office. Kan?
Yeah, that's true.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean that's how you start because you don't want to invest or you put your money or put other
Or
people's
put
money.
investors' money in it. Yeah, that's the
Because
worst.
Even worse.
Then you do business to pay back the loans or
When
pay
I
back the money.
first started my new outfit, Comet, I tumpang office belonging to Mr. Wolf and Mr. Turtle.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a cafe,
No.
Si Arif.
I was in the cafe
Cafe
lah.
Oh, I thought si Arif
Wolf
punya
Turtle
office.
Cafe.
I don't know who the owners were. Okay.
For about a year, I just hung out in Wolf and Turtle, Monet, whatever.
But if you
Starbucks when it was
if
still
you-
okay.
Yeah.
But if you calculate, that Wolf and Turtle punya bill will cost you probably 6,000 and you can
Yeah,
get
I
a
know. That's why I said that kind of office.
Anybody,
That was your
anybody
moment
who-
of trying to be humble lah.
Anybody who knew me from 10 to 12 years ago would know like half of my office was in Starbucks. When you said when it was better in the Curve.
Not anymore.
The Curve Starbucks is a hot spot for people to meet. I can tell you, you sit down there, the opportunities. You sit down in office, sometimes no opportunity. You sit down in that Starbucks, you meet
Opportunity
people.
for?
Business.
Meet people. Yeah.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
You go out there, you sit down, you meet people.
True.
Like what?
Yeah,
Izham
go
said,
out
like,
there
you
to-
meet
But
people.
now you guys maybe sit in Shangri-La or Mandarin.
No.
Huh? No longer.
No, after COVID, it's all Google Meet, Zoom.
Different
The
world.
teh tarik at Al Bidayah in Taman Tun.
Oh, legend.
Let's move on to content. Maybe some advice in terms of content.
Yeah, like yourself, kan? I mean, you came from a different world, kan? World of traditional media, and today the content world is a bit more different kat social
short,
media.
long, super long.
Yeah. So how do you see the evolution of this content creating? Do you think there is still the same formula, atau is there something yang masih benda yang sama tapi it's just different platform, or do you think it has changed or evolved?
It's both actually, because in the end you got to get to your consumer, right? And now we know the consumer punya behavior and attention time span is very short. That's why the micro drama series suddenly boom, right?
Yeah.
But there's still place for the long dramas. There's still place for cinema. There's still place for TV. The issue is, I think you still need to know what is the story that moves the heart.
Storytelling.
Storytelling moves
Tadi
the
apa
heart.
dia punya tu? Apa tak nama dia?
Primer.
Primal fears.
Yes.
Any story out there, if anybody budding storytellers out here, if your story is not based on a primal reason, then nobody will really like your story. What are primal reasons? Okay, life or death, like sex, survival, food, shelter. Those are the basic primal things. Even a movie like Wall Street is based on whether the guy is going to live or die. So I think you need to have that. But the most important thing is it needs to get to the heart of that person. And this is something AI cannot get. to the heart of the person is a very human experience, because everybody's heart is different. So you need to plant enough in your story to make sure that someone's heart is pulled into that story, and then they say, this is my story, but sebenarnya it's a story for everybody out there. So the point is, storytelling is still very, very, very important, even if it's a short form 1 minute drama or a 20 to a 200 minute movie. As long as you know how to build a character and how the character can go from zero to hero or back to zero, whatever you want the character to do, as long as it transforms throughout the series, then it doesn't matter what platform you're on. You got it already. Storytelling is still number
The
one.
same kan? Because I think the essence of storytelling tu takkan jauh beza sangat.
Takkan
betul
jauh,
tak?
yeah,
It will be still the same, just different platforms.
Yeah, because people talk about the wonders of how AI can do the background and all kind of stuff. Great, but after 30 seconds, you bored about the background already. You just want to know, can I follow this character? Where is this character going? And only the human can tell, can move the character, like, go this way. Story comes when a character is going here and then goes there. It doesn't come when a character goes here and then finishes at. That's boring, right?
Yeah,
Goes
nobody
here
watches
and then
the
boom,
movie.
and then boom, boom. So how to push that character around is a very human experience. Only humans can do it, because humans are all flawed. When we are flawed, when we are weird, we are a bit kooky, we put that in our stories and our characters become fun to look at.
And anything you want to add?
Especially with your campaigns, right?
Yeah, and I think
think-
you also more closer because your
Yeah.
generation pun masa tu baru start social
Yeah.
media, right?
I think what you mentioned earlier is right. The platforms change. The storytelling doesn't, right? So, but we have to understand that there is always a market for everything. The pie is actually big enough for everybody, meaning that whatever kind of content you do, there is a room for it. The question is, how do you find this room? Where does this room lie, right? So if you talk about, because not every brand out there, in terms of advertising, not every brand can afford to storytell. Storytelling is expensive. All right, there are the smaller storytellers, they don't know where to go, right? But the big storytellers, the people who can tell good stories, you want to sit down with them and get their input for storytelling, it's gonna be shit expensive. I can tell you that, right? And some people stay true to their art. Means if I don't get to tell my story, I'm not gonna tell my story at all. You know, people like the guy who wrote what's that Netflix original that Squid Games. The guy's script stayed with him for donkey years. He had to sell his laptop to eat, but he did not sell his
You
script.
did not budge.
He did not budge in terms of, this is my story. Nobody else is going to tell it in any other different way. So sometimes you stay true to your narrative. Sometimes you sell out. Why? Because at the end of the day, what's important is your wife and your children got food on the table. You know, you gotta sell out at some point. You gotta you gotta put food on the table. But doesn't mean that you're selling out means it's bad. All right, there are good content creators out there who sell out but do freaking good content. All right, for me, I look up to a content creator called So I'm Jen. I don't know if you guys know her.
I know
right?
her, yeah.
I respect her in a different level because she has put herself at a level, but if you want to work with me, this is the kind of level of content that I deliver, but this is my price. I will not budge. I will not do something for like half the price. No, it's okay. I have got my clients. So as a business owner today, what I look for is, I don't look for clients anymore. I stopped looking for clients. I don't grow my client base anymore. I look for partners. You know, clients who come to me and says, hey, we want to build a brand together. We want to build an IP together. We want to build something together. So we brainstorm and we build something together. That's long lasting. A brand campaign, they come give me a brief. Do I do it? I tell my staff, yeah, we do it lah, because
That's the sellout lah.
that is what put food on the table.
Yeah.
This company's coming with, hey, this is $500,000, we need to do this. Okay lah, we do lah. And next month I go London, enjoy myself. You know, it's fine, you know. But the truth is, for me personally, when clients want my time, sit down, they respect the input that I give. You know, where I can bring their brand to another level. And that's what fuels me lah. Yeah.
Okay, before we go, we're going to give you guys a chance to ask whatever questions you guys have. But before we go towards that, let's have a advice from each of our guests today. How to be, for the youth, what can they do to become the best version of themselves? Maybe we can start with Izham first.
I think
Because you're still a youth, technically, right?
this sounds
So it's quite hard
Yeah,
for
what-
you to exploring.
40 still you, right? 40.
I like this guy. Don't be don't think that there's always one way to do something. There's always another way to do something. Always. And approach the world with a sense of wonder and exploration. And then you will find that your journey is so meaningful. Even though you might reach a different destination than where you want to get, but at least it's so meaningful. And the best thing is, once you gather all the information, once you know about something, close your eyes and jump. Don't jump. Don't like, I got information and sit there and go like, okay, then what are you, right? Just jump and then find some place new for you where you can take everybody with you. So I think that's what I would wish for all the young entrepreneurs out there.
Amazing.
Thank you.
What
Thank
about
you so much.
Prashan?
I think my advice for the younger generation is to know what you want. I think that's a very big thing these days, right? People don't know what they want, right? So when you're young, figure out what you want, right? We have like 30 years to work, 35 years to work to get to where we want to go, right? Like, figure out what you want from the get-go. I want to be a millionaire. You know, I have a lot of people saying this. I want to be a millionaire. Okay, how are you going to get there? You're working McDonald's. So for me, like, how are you going to be a millionaire working at McDonald's? But you get so comfortable doing something and you don't get there. You know, it's a very simple calculation, right? How do I become a millionaire before I'm 30? Calculate. By 30, I have to have 1 million, which means
Per month, how much?
how much I need to make? How much revenue do I make? If I'm going to work at this job that I'm doing now, I'm not going to be a millionaire at 30. So stop dreaming. It's not going to happen. Right? Figure out, I want to be 30, I'm going to be a millionaire, I'm going to start a business today or tomorrow and make 50,000 in the first year, 200,000 in the next year, 500,000 in the following year. You got to figure out, it's all numbers. You figure out what you want to do from the get-go. If you say, no, I want to have a good life, I want to retire nicely, then figure out how much KWSB you need to insert into your KWSB to make sure you retire. It's all numbers. But the problem is you're not passionate enough at your younger age to figure out this until you go into a life where, oh shit, I'm already 45, I've got another 10, 15 years to work. Where am I going? What's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to my children? Right? But from the beauty, the most beautiful time to start thinking about this is when you are, for me, I'd say maybe like 25. Between your first 5 years of your work, you got to figure out what you want to do, because you start working, you gain experience, you see the world, you see society, you figure out, okay, what do I want to do? Where do I want to be when I'm 55? You know, I'm pretty sure at some point of Tony's life, he figured out, I want to have $1 billion before I die, man. So like, I need to make that big jump in life and go do something crazy, invest in something crazy. Even if you fail, there's something to fall back on. But if you don't take that risk, you will never get to where you are. That's the fact of the matter.
I think
that's the advice that I would give to the young generation today.
Sorry, if I may add to that. Do what you love lah, kan? You have to do what you love and do it the best that you can.
Be the best version of yourself.
Yeah, once you do that, you will naturally be excellent at what you do. Then the world will come beating a path to your door. Yeah. So don't think about money first, right?
Think about what you love first.
Because if you think about, if you can think in your head, guys, right now, if you think there's a boat, there's a river, there's a mountain, people, when you ask somebody where is the money, some people say it's the mountain. It is not. It's not even the boat. It's actually the water in the river. The higher, the faster the water is, the faster your boat goes to the mountain. Even if the water is gone, you can get off the boat and walk to the mountain. The point is, do you know what your mountain is? Once you get to the mountain and you become an expert in your mountain, when you reach to the top of your mountain, you really realize, hey, I'm king of the hill, right? Wait a minute, there's another bigger hill there. But you'll never see the second hill if you've never crossed the first hill first. So you got to do that. I've been very, very lucky that I've been involved in a couple of mountains. Yeah. But it does mean that you just focus. And I think you'll get there.
Yeah,
one thing Izham said correctly is open your eyes. While you're doing all this, open your eyes, because opportunities will come knocking along the way. Yeah. But if your eyes are not open, then
in other words, also take both of your advices. Is like just keep on doing stuff. Try everything, especially when you're young, because maybe at a younger age,
that's the best time to make mistakes.
Yeah, you don't know what you want, right?
Yeah, not so when you have kids going to international schools. That's not the time to make mistakes.
Yeah. Try everything.
That's the time to be stable already, right?
Okay,
thank
we're
you.
gonna-
Yeah.
thank you
Before
so
that,
much.
thank you so much for sharing. And I think this is the shortest ever interview that
That's
we've
why.
had. So that's why we would like to invite both of you, but of course separately, to Apa Cerita
To share your long story.
to share
journey.
the long journey, because I'm sure the story is way longer and more interesting. And
correct.
you know, macam Izham, I know that you started studying in the US, so you know, and then doing so many things lah yang I really want to get deeper into, but couldn't get a chance to.
I've
But I
done
hope-
plenty of mistakes. Plenty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what we want to
Then we
learn
can
from.
share.
That's what I want to hear.
So
We want
that
to
I
hear
don't
every
have today
single one of
make
them.
that mistake. Kan?
Yeah.
Alright, so
Okay.
we like to open the floor. If you guys have any questions.
Oh,
Alright.
so fast.
Yeah.
Wait, Mike. There's a mic for you.
Wow, she looks familiar.
Hi, I'm Leslie. As I know, both of you are the pioneers in like traditional and the current social media, and you have already climbed a hill where we haven't climbed before, and you have seen international market as we haven't seen before. So what's the pros and cons and different market, like nationally and internationally wise in your both
Wow.
sector? Thank you.
Very good
Trying to
question.
start first.
Okay. Well, you know, I personally believe in this thing called Jago Kampung.
Oh.
I mean, Maui was once the, if you ever remember the Maui time, right?
Maui
It's
world.
Jago Kampung.
Maui
I
world.
always believe this: be a champion where you are, and it also comes back to what you want, right? So I give you an example. People like Henry Golding, for example, an actor. From the get go of his career, he knew he wanted to be in Hollywood.
Oh.
Right? From the get-go of his career, he wanted to be in Hollywood. Whatever he did in Malaysia was just to fill his pockets so that he can go to Hollywood. So he went there and he casted and he did everything he could there to get on TV, to get on film in America. Because from the start, he knew what he wanted. Okay?
The mountain.
Yeah, the mountain. He knew he wanted to get there, so he went there. Some people are thinking, I'm gonna be a Hollywood actor one day. But 1 year you are acting in 7 movies in Malaysia. And to think that it's gonna break you there, it's not. It's a different game.
Different game,
It's a different industry. You know, I always say, people tell me, oh, I want my music to go to Indonesia. Yeah. Are you doing anything about it? No lah. I'm sharing. I'm tagging all my Indonesian friends. That's a good start. But, but you know, they you know, Jakarta itself has like 20 million people. It's you need to understand the game. You need to understand what you want to do. And you got to suffer from the start. If it means resetting your career by going into another industry, you do that.
Yep.
You know, Toulouse once told me, the singer Toulouse from
Toulouse.
Malaysia told me, you know, my tactic is like every time I go to a new country, I treat myself as zero. I treat myself as nobody there. And that's how you grow. You're getting a new audience, an audience who don't
Know you.
know you. They don't listen to you. But you're getting them to listen to you now. So you start afresh. You build a new audience. So for me, if being the best in Malaysia is good enough for you, then you focus on that. You want to be number 1 in Malaysia. You focus on that and you will get somewhere there. But if you think that, oh, I'm gonna, you know, look at, Izham talk about English music.
Yeah.
English music, I grew up listening to English music.
Rashmonu.
But in Malaysia, the market is really niche and really small. And Izham realized that there is a bigger market in the Malay market. And then after he did Malay market, oh look, now we have the Indonesian market to go after. It's a bigger market. All right, why? Because how long can we be doing a small market and making small money?
Yep.
It's not that the money is small, there is money there. But as you grow, you want to be bigger.
Yeah, you see the bigger
You
mountains,
see
right?
the bigger mountains, right? Like yes, like OAG was once number 1. The crazy amount of the English, there was a era of the English music in Malaysia. You know, it grew very big, but that big was significantly small in the whole industry.
Yep.
You know, so we are different. Like you look at people like Nora Jones who does jazz, for example, or John Mayer. In their countries, the niche that they do is
It's big
so
enough.
big that you it's enough for you to
Tak
go and
apa
do
lah.
tour the whole Europe just doing that. In Malaysia, if you play jazz, I want to do a jazz tour. Oh my god!
3 people
It's
show
not
up.
that it can't be done.
Three
It's
people,
just-
including your mother.
Father, mother, adik.
It's just stressful as hell for that small. So you have to understand who are you. what you want to become,
Yeah.
and how do you close the gap. So I think to answer the pros and cons, you have to first understand what is it that you want, what is it that you can offer, and how do you bridge the gap.
Yeah, it's more of like having that dream and doing that organized planning, right?
Yes.
If not,
Yeah.
you go to the wrong direction pun susah juga kan. Anything you want to add, Datuk?
That's why I play jazz piano alone in my house. Only my cats and my family listening. There's nobody else outside who wants to listen to jazz piano. Oh my god! Henry Golding started at ATV. Can you believe it?
Oh,
and look where he is right now. But I think my experience especially when I was at Disney, I managed to go around the Southeast Asia a bit, looking at all the best top creatives around the region. Whenever we have a town hall like this, when you have a gathering of professionals, over there, whenever they have a gathering, they always talk about how do they uplift their quality, how do they get new markets, how do they bertanding dengan semua orang satu dunia. In Malaysia, somehow the town halls are more about like, when am I going to get paid? What happened to this contract? So things that you can solve actually, but not without town hall. Because once that is your focus of your town hall, you're only talking about
You're not
things,
talking about growth, huh?
Yeah, you're talking about plaster over the situation, which you should address. But who's addressing the whole how we're gonna lift ourselves up
The
in the nation, right?
macro.
Unfortunately for us, Indonesia's got a larger population, and therefore everybody in the world wants to win Indonesia. Therefore, our investment goes into that, and then Thailand, and then Malaysia maybe. So I think for us, it's not to be like, oh my God, we are losing out, but the fact that Indonesia is so close to us, we should actually attach ourselves to them and work with them, co-produce with them, and then get involved because they are now exposed to the world's best.
Yeah.
The world's best whatever, world's best writers' rooms, world's best directors, world's best creative, whatever. They are exposed to that because of the investment. So we attach to them lah. So I see a lot of Malaysians do really good work in Indonesia and learning and getting getting all these lessons. They are getting education and experience. People like Zahir Omar, the director. The studio, the special effects company Voxel, who did Joko Anwar's Tira, which Zahir Omar was directing. All Malaysians, but working on a product that was originated in Indonesia for the world. Then we learn and we come back and then we can uplift our situation better here lah.
Yeah, interesting. And I think that is something that we have to do also to actually learn from people beyond Malaysia as well, to bring back the expertise. And also one of the sponsor which Right Bank punya owner tu, dia pun dulu buat MoneyGram. Not MoneyGram, money apa?
Money Lion.
Money Lion.
Yeah, Right Bank.
Did in the US and then brought the talent to Malaysia and then manage the business from here. So I think that's also important to support the local talent and grow the talents we have here.
I would make a little bit controversial statement here. Because a lot of people would want to always say that, let's give everything to make a Malaysian content. I mean, that's great. But you are in your own little bubble, right? What we should do is let's incentivize Malaysians to go out there and learn from the world. And then naturally they will come back and create something instead of us forcing it right now. So like, let's everybody's investing everywhere around the world, right? Let's go there and learn from them and come back and do it, right? So don't make a thing here. Just incentivize us to go outside. I don't know, just tolong dorang connect with projects or something like that. Right, get them attachment for a project for 2 years, 3 years. And then when they come back, it's going to be amazing lah.
Yeah, I understand. All right, so thank you so much. I'm so sorry we only have enough time for one question.
Yeah.
And we have next session nanti with Game of Impossible pula after this. So thank you so much to Datuk Izham Omar and also Prashan for sharing your story with us. Walaupun sikit, mesti korang tak puas kan? Puas tak dengar? Tak puas kan? So we have to have them both on our podcast nanti. Betul tak?
This will be just a pre-opening show.
So this is just a teaser.
Correct,
the teaser.
Correct.
And thank you so much again for being here.
Thank you.
Anything you want to add? What?
No, I just wanted to say thank you so much again, Prashan and also Datuk Izham for your time today. I find it helpful and very fruitful.
Yeah, even though it's a short conversation,
Correct.
but I think we got
Very nice.
quite a lot out of it. So
correct. I got a lot of philosophy today.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
All right.
And just to remind you guys, we also have a photo session with both of them after this outside.
Yeah, meet
so
and
if you
greet.
guys want to come and have a chat with us,
Yep.
please come to
Things
the
are
front
meet
later.
and greet lah, no photo.
Meet and greet.
And no, don't think anybody takes
Yeah,
photo.
we're not
Okay,
that
no
But
photos.
But you have any questions? Come ask us. Yeah.
I'm sure they're just being humble. Alright, so thank you so much guys.
Thank you so
Inshallah
much.
we'll see you again.
See you guys.
Alright, Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.